Today's episode starts with grabbing some lunch at the Punalu'u Bake Shop. Welcome to the southernmost bakery in the US. I heard this is a good place for lunch. I'm in the town of Na'alehu on the southwest side of the Big Island. They have good Hawaiian sweetbread and malasadas. This place got busy all of a sudden as a tour bus just stopped and about 100 people are now in line. For me, I'm gonna get a sandwich and some sweet and tasty treats. I got a seafood supreme sandwich, which is crab salad with lettuce, tomato, and onion on their delicious Hawaiian sweetbread. My family and I are sharing these 3 different malasadas. This one is a traditional malasada, which has a sugar coating. This malasada has powdered sugar on top with vanilla cream filling. And this one has coconut and hopia inside. All look really tasty. Everything was really good here. I highly recommend stopping here for a quick meal or if you want to try their famous malasadas. The prices are very reasonable also, actually on par with typical mainland prices. Hey guys, Emily, welcome everyone! In this video, I'll spend the afternoon on the west side of the Big Island. I started at the Punalu'u Bake Shop, and later on I'll head toward a Kona coffee farm. I'll end the day at a luau, complete with a buffet meal and a fire dance. It's my final day in Hawaii. Let's go! Before the luau tonight, I had a little time to tour a Kona coffee farm not far from my hotel. I'm heading to the Heavenly Hawaiian Coffee Farm at the hills of Holualoa, not far from the Kona Coast. Hawaii's best coffee is Heavenly. They offer a coffee tasting and tour of their farm, where they'll discuss how they harvest their coffee beans, then process them and create a fantastic caffeinated beverage. Their tour is about an hour long and costs $15 per person. It includes a number of different blends of their coffee, which we sample before walking through their farm. Here's where I get the coffee samples. I won't drink too much since I don't want to get too jittery on this tour. They have 4 different flavors of coffee, going from the normal blend to the bold flavor, and they also have silky and fire roast. They also sell their 100% Kona coffee. They have many kinds of coffee to choose from, as well as bags of decaf. I probably should have brought home a bag or 2. They sell other stuff, including coffee-infused honey. I wonder how that tastes. They also have Kona coffee, macadamia nut brittle, and mama key tea. $25, that's expensive tea. Also for $18 is this bag of chocolate-covered pea berries, which I think are the smaller coffee beans. They have a nice seating area where we can enjoy our coffee samples before we take the farm tour. From here is a very nice view of the ocean, although with the cloud cover it doesn't look so great right now. But the coffee samples are really good. They also have cats that found their way to the property. Hawaii does have a lot of stray cats.
Oh my goodness, you almost knocked me over. Oh, you're getting comfortable, buddy. Yeah, I'm looking so much. Why are you looking at the ground? I love the kitties.
That's not state certified, right? That's just
our guide Cole is now ready to give us the tour of the
I've seen this
farm.
done in all different fashions. If you guys go to Walmart,
They describe their
Safeway,
coffee
you
as
might see bags
bougie
of
and take pride in making their coffee the best you can buy.
Pure Hawaiian. We used to be a macadamia nut farm.
To the left is another tasting area, which I believe features special coffee brews. To the right is part of their coffee farm with rows of trees, all with some buds.
So Craig Lee was the old magnet farmer. He actually built this whole
The typical picking season is August through December.
family guest house. Now this region,
And right now it's early April, so the coffee berries have about 3 months to fully ripen.
stay up north of Kona, and I know you guys are.
Cole will tell us what makes Kona coffee more special than coffee elsewhere.
No, I know you guys are. The flavor. Now the big white one I would say is the fan favorite here. That's coconut cream. It has milk chocolate, white chocolate, toasted coconut flakes, all rolled on a magnet. So you can't really go wrong with that unless you don't like coconut. Pea berry. Does anyone here know what a pea berry is?
It's coffee.
No, okay.
You could try it, see if you like it.
So a pea berry is a coffee bean. You guys will probably taste that as soon as you literally eat it. You're like, oh wow, that's good. So before I go into more detail about all this, I want you to remember, please, 8 to 10 of those little pea berry bites is equal to a cup of coffee. Have you guys ever heard of?
Cole mentioned this area is referred to as the Kona Coffee Belt, where the volcanic soil is porous and the minerals promote coffee plant growth. Sunny mornings, rainy afternoons, and mild nights also help, and the farm faces west, not in the direction of the morning sun.
It's like the Kenyan.
Kona coffee beans are called Kona typica, and they are derived from beans from Guatemala.
So Doug flew to Panama.
Although coffee farming started as early as 1817, farming didn't really take off until after World War II.
6,000 of those.
Coffee tourism became a thing in the 1960s. In the 1990s, there were businesses selling, for lack of a better word, counterfeit Kona coffee, so the region took steps to develop a special certification and labeling process from the state of Hawaii. The only legitimate Kona coffee is labeled 100% Kona.
It's not as much. It's called a Suriname cherry, and you guys are welcome to pick one yourself. If you do, pick dark red, not light red, not green or yellow or
Oh, there are
orange.
dark reds right there, Aaron. Jump.
Yeah, Dad.
Jump. Aaron, right there, right there.
I got a handful.
Younger. Because then we could actually.
Look at these. They look like gummy candies, dude.
Kind of tastes like a bell pepper. I say it's like a citrus bell pepper.
Oh, it's nasty.
That's all I could come up with. Yeah. Spice under. So this is literally the one from the movie. If you guys are wanting to take pictures with it and you're writing in it. For those who haven't seen the movie, just do it anyway. Go watch the movie. And like, whoa, I sat in the same seat as Iron Man. Right? Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr., Jack Black.
The movie he was referring to is Tropic Thunder. Heavenly Coffee owns 40 acres along the slopes of the Hula volcano. When these berries are ripe, they will hand-pick them from all these trees.
They call it Kona snow. That's what pollinates the tree. Arabica species are self-pollinators. Now, when bees are present, they produce about 50% more coffee. Just a little fun fact there. Of course, we have bees.
Some beehives down.
Those aren't ours, but there's beehives all over Hawaii, pretty much, yeah. Now, every place there's a flower, that will die off, and that will turn into coffee beans. So these are really little baby coffee beans. And then, good examples right here. Little bushel right there. So that's what they look like. And they grow in little bushels, yeah. Now the problem is, you guys saw I had all the other colors in my pocket, for whatever reason. So, you know, ripe is red, green, yellow, orange is underripe, and that's overripe. Now the problem is the tree itself does not ripen all at once. Every individual bean ripens on its own accord. There becomes the problem, right? You're like, oh, I need ripe coffee, but how do I get that without individually hand-picking, right? In a lot of places like Central America, they use tree shakers. They're just like, shoot, let me shake this up, right? And then all the coffee falls off the tree.
They're too small.
No, it's called the lobster claw. That's a part of the Haliconia family.
Why not? No, we take them before they're ripe.
Oh, there's some up there.
Oh, yeah,
Nice
look at that.
big
No, they're really cool, yeah, and they slowly get longer and they'll go all the way to the ground.
Really?
You do know the birds of paradise, most of us?
Yeah.
That's known as the false birds of paradise.
Like a peach.
So we got a pea berry. This is not normal.
No way.
So, there you go. There should be 2 beans that are the size of this. Now, Okay, and now I'm gonna have to use the other beans so you guys can see the normal beans versus pea berries. This is kind of a weird thing to do. So there's a little sliver, right? There should be 2 beans that are that size, but instead the bean, stole the other nutrients, and there you go. But there should be 2 of these inside of a skin, and then there's the pea berry. So you see the difference right away. It's traditionally smaller and it's rounded. It kind of looks like Honey Smacks. You guys know what I'm talking about? Cereal. Yeah. So pea berries, guys, they're not only better because they stole the nutrients from the other bean, but they're round. And you can see that, right? When you roast a bean that's round, it's going to have a more even roast profile. Therefore, just a whole better flavor. So everything about a pea berry is better coffee, guys. It's more robust, it's more caffeinated, it's just all around just higher end, better coffee. As you guys can see, this is old, moldy, not good coffee. So I don't know why this bag is here, but I've been enjoying it too. But now the next step is to separate it. Yeah. So you guys heard all the coffee falling, right? There's a stainless steel drum or tub right below us. That's going to be filled with water. The water separates good and bad based on density. Right? So pretty simple. Sorry, spider web. Now all the bad fruit will float to the top, right? Like the bad egg, and we just throw it off. All the good, red, ripe fruit will sink to the bottom of the water. Then it gets sucked up a sub pump up into the hose. Pretty simple, right? You separated good and bad. But now you want to separate that bean from the skin, kind of like I did with my hand. That's what this machine does. This does it all by itself. This is a wet mill, which is a wash process. There's dry mills, which is a dry process. I did mention naturally processed earlier. That means you skip this step. You would take the bean and the skin and keep them together. Okay, instead of separating them, we put them in a 5-gallon bucket, put a bag over it, put a bunch of water in there, close it up with water, and then we put a special champagne yeast in there. Can't tell you what kind, it's our little secret. But that yeast will help the bean ferment. So the cherry skin has a lot of natural sugars to it. The bean will draw out all the sugars, and it gives it like a sweet berry flavor. It almost tastes like tea. That's what we call Kona sweet. All the cherry skins go right out that side, down that auger. Now all these wet, slimy, sticky, slippery beans, that's called the mucilage layer. The mucilage needs washed off. So that goes up the demucilizer.
It's great name.
Crazy stuff, dude. I'm telling you, whoever gets paid to come up with this, 10 out of 10. So all we're left with now is just a really wet coffee bean that we need to dry. And then this is repass, rock separators, stuff like that, because people like to put rocks in their bag. And then you weigh it up, and you're like, hey dude, how'd you fit 180 pounds in this bag that only fits 120? It's kind of weird. So next step now is to dry the coffee. 7 days a week. So from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 8 hours a day, someone is down here, and they literally rotate every pile of coffee. Yo-yo with them sometimes. So,
Here's the rig he was just talking about.
there's nothing here that's really
There's a lot of
I don't know if
manual
you
labor
got
involved.
spiders on the ground, and then the work stairs, we all take turns once a day.
Gonna get a closer look at some of the machinery, which isn't much.
Now guys, this job is not the hardest
Much
thing
of
in
the
the world.
process is manual, from picking all the berries by hand, drying the berries, and loading them in these machines.
Now, I ran into a problem. Shove it right down this trap door over here. Watch your step, guys. Ta-da, this is where I shove all the bad guests. Right, search. And then he finishes it up.
Something dead here.
That's a dead coqui. We probably need to get rid of that. Coqui frogs, the things at night.
Oh,
Sound like
I've heard
birds?
that. I've heard that. Yeah.
Those are frogs,
Oh.
right? Not birds. Because birds are not nocturnal. So. It took me a minute to figure that out too. So all we take now is the coffee beans, shove it down in the hopper, bag it up, sew it shut, and we put it down below our third bay. It's our giant coffee ball. So it's temperature controlled, 50% humidity, 68 degrees. This will lock the coffee at 10.5 to 11% moisture mark. We can roast it whenever we need it that way.
In this area is where they grow all the starter plants. Once they're large and strong enough, these plants are moved to the farmland. There are some other fruit trees on property. I'm not sure if they sell all those fruits, however. This was a really informative tour. The tour guide was really friendly and very chill. He's from Illinois, and he got an offer to move here and work for this farm. I believe this is the machinery used in the Brew Your Best Cup tour. This special tour costs $55 per person.
Aaron, do you want to try
The coffee is really good, much better than Starbucks. Another stray cat on property. I think I've seen 100 stray cats during my time on the 2 Hawaiian islands. They have the Kona Coffee Bar, where a barista will make you pretty much any kind of coffee beverage you want. I got this matcha latte with oat milk. Since I had coffee earlier, I wanted to have something different.
So I got a matcha with oat milk and raspberry. Hopefully it tastes good. That's really good. Need to mix it a little bit more. It's hard to mix because there's just one giant ice cube. It's definitely different than like the matcha stuff you would get. Like I remember for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, I got a matcha frappuccino thing, and that was just all cream. This actually tastes really, really good.
Now remember, if it's not labeled 100% Kona, it's not legitimate Kona coffee. I enjoyed this tour. After about an hour or so later, the luau at my hotel is getting underway. I heard this is one of the best luau's in all of Hawaii. It was about $150 per person. They will serve the Hawaiian buffet shortly. Here's what they have on the dinner buffet. Some standard salad items are here. This was funny. They call this Thousand Isle dressing and not Thousand Island. Here's the macaroni potato salad. I think I've eaten this every day during my time in Hawaii. Here's a fresh pineapple. Looks like I just cut this up, so it should taste great. Look over here in the bowl. I'm not a fan of pork. So coconut rolls over here. Probably not as sweet as the Hawaiian bread, but that's okay. Here's plenty of white rice to feed the 200 or so people that are here. The other items on this buffet include vegetable stir fry, and next to it is what they call local style fresh fish. It's white fish with cilantro and tomatoes. Next to this is the teriyaki beef that looks pretty good, and finally the Punalu'u pig. And I think I've eaten that every day as well. I'm so hungry. Also some soy sauce, Tabasco sauce, and salt over here. On this table are the desserts, some coconut cake, haupia, and a melon slice. My parents thought the beef and the pig were on the dry side. I like the dessert though. They also made me a non-alcoholic drink at the bar. The cruise ship is sailing away and the sun is setting. The show's about to start, and thanks to the cloud cover, I can get some good video of the luau that isn't silhouetted from the sunlight.
Your first tie in the center of the bodice, then reaching down, twisting the ends just a few times and tying a knot at the back of the waist. The other end, wrap it around your body twice and tying a knot at that same shoulder. Ends of the lava holding it at the back of the waist. Overlapping the two front ends and tucking it in at the sides. With the matching shirt, I'm sure you agree this would be perfect for the beach or even a fun poolside party. Bringing it under and up and tucking it in at the back.
Yeah, give them a nice sound, everybody. Cheer them on. Cheer them on. That was just the warm up. We're going to take it 1, 2, 3 at a time. this beautiful creation of Polynesia shall remain with us for all eternity. Or to Although this is but a legend, this evening we have shared with you that woman of our dreams. May the memory of this creation gently caress your every thought and breath for all eternity, so that the next opportunity you have to pick the tiara flower, we do hope that its sweet, intriguing scent will remind you.
Aloha
amazing end to my vacation in Hawaii. I really enjoyed the luau, especially the end with the fire dance. Overall, this vacation was fantastic, and I saw a lot of great resort attractions, national parks, restaurants, and of course the incredible coastlines of both the Big Island and Oahu. I also missed so much, and I hope to visit Hawaii again as soon as possible. But one thing I won't miss, everything is expensive compared to the mainland, including gas at nearly $5 a gallon.
And that's it. My return flight to the mainland leaves early in the morning.
We've been flying for several hours over the Pacific, and now we've crossed over to the coastline and into the mainland US. Now it really feels like the Hawaii vacay is over.
I'm actually flying into Austin, Texas. The flight was $400 per person less than flying into Atlanta. Atlanta is pretty expensive to fly in and out of. So even with the additional hotels, rental car, and gas, we're still saving a lot of money. But it'll be great to get home. I'll bring you some more adventures next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!